Pastrňák 3-on-2. Pastrňák. Send it to the slot. Fire, they score! Right off the hop. Morgan Dickey scores in 3 straight. To the angle. To Brayden Point. 2-on-1. Perry on flank. Saved by Swagevich. Couldn't fire it. And now Bennett getting the ball to Tenora. Tenora on the right. Tenora on the left. The Jersey jab. Tenora on the right. Tenora on the right. Pastrňák scores 50 goals for David Pastrňák.
As well as anybody. Oh, what a second game. Previously, McDavid thumped on the boards by
All right. How are we doing? It is Bruins Scoops. I am finally back. I recorded a little bit right before Halloween. A lot has happened since then. The Bruins are streaking. We are streaking, everybody. The Bruins are playing a very fun and good brand of hockey where they've won 6 games in a row. It's quite the turnaround. A lot has happened in between. So we're going to kind of get into like the nitty gritty of what has kind of happened in between for the Boston Bruins and what hasn't. As I start always, game reviews, right? I think the last time I recorded, I believe, is right after the first Islanders game where the Bruins let in 2 goals early and then they just kind of rode the momentum and the Bruins kind of went ahead and went on a run and beat the Islanders 5-2 in a game that they definitely deserve to win. But they beat the Sabres, a game that they should not have won, not even close. It was a 4-3 game. They went in overtime. The Bruins had no business winning this game. The Sabres beat the Bruins in pretty much every aspect of the game. If it was not for Joonas Korpisalo, the Bruins don't win this hockey game. Not even close. That's how bad the Bruins were. Not to say they were bad, but it's just they had no business winning this hockey game at all. This is a game that the Sabres took everything to the Bruins in terms of offensive generation. In all situations, the Bruins allowed 5.78 expected goals. That's bad. That's really bad, actually. But Joonas Korpisalo was really, really good, really strong, made a lot of key saves. You definitely need to have your goalie in that situation, in that game, and they get the game winner. And you love to see it. Truthfully, they battled. They capitalized on the chances that they did get, but they got outplayed heavily in this game. But it's encouraging that the Bruins managed to always have this fight, managed to always have this compete level, and they always find themselves in these games even when they're not supposed to be in them. That's the bad part. But you do take those wins. I mean, just looking at some of those numbers, we'll get into it. It's just at 5-on-5, you're looking at 12-5 in terms of high danger chances. The expected goals were what they were. The Bruins only generated just a hair over 2 expected goals in this game. So the offensive generation was not at an all-time high. But when you're capitalizing at the rate that you are, you love to see it. A game that I didn't think they were going to win. Didn't think they were going to win this game. Carolina Hurricanes. Now, the Hurricanes definitely had their injuries. No Slavin. No Keandre Miller. He was out this game. So those are some pretty key guys on the back end. And the best part about this game was that the Bruins won a game where they were actually the better team the whole way through. I thought this was a great effort. I thought they did a tremendous job suppressing the Hurricanes' chances. Sure, the shot attempts were a little bit more in favor for the Hurricanes, but the Hurricanes shoot for volume. They shoot for the sake of shooting. That's just what they do. That's just how Rod Brind'Amour's system's been. I mean, shoot the puck, volume shooting team. But I thought the Bruins did a really good job keeping pace with the shots on goal, blocking shots. 1.82 expected goals against for the Bruins in this one. So I got to say, I like their effort. I thought they did a good job in the neutral zone, like kind of trapping them a little bit. They really dominated the high danger areas. It's a 2-1 game. You got a goal from Arvidsson. Overall, very good effort. The Islanders game was the same way. Really nice response throughout this game for the Bruins. I thought they did a really, really, really nice job in that game, winning the way they did. Marat Kuznetsov, huge game-tying goal. Huge game-tying goal. And his shootout winner was beautiful. Then the Bruins, they defeat the Senators. That was fun. That was a very good hockey game. I thought the Bruins played again. I thought they played really well. Morgan Geekie continues to score. We'll kind of get into him a little bit. Sean Corrali gets his first goal as a Bruin. And then Pavel Zacha scores with 6 seconds left in overtime, which is phenomenal. We're going to get into him as well. Now, I thought this Maple Leafs game was everything you could have asked for. Because when you look at this Toronto Maple Leafs team, they're supposed to be better than you. They just are. The Bruins are not supposed to be better than the Maple Leafs. And you're entering this game, and the Bruins were down so many different bodies. They were down so many different players. And key guys, too. No Charlie McAvoy. No Elias Lindholm. Casey Middlestat didn't play. This is a game where the Bruins were down bad in terms of bodies, important bodies. And again, I'm going to get into this in terms of the analysis part, but we're doing the game review, right? So the Bruins they didn't just beat the Toronto Maple Leafs. They smothered the Toronto Maple Leafs. The Bruins were the more superior team at 5-on-5. This game was only a game because the Bruins allowed multiple power play goals. If the Bruins just stayed out of the box, the Bruins win this game just by a mile in terms of 5-on-5 play. The Bruins scored 4 of their 5 goals at 5-on-5. So that's massive. You love to see that. They led in shot attempts. The expected goals for differential was pretty neck and neck, but overall really good. But I thought the Bruins, they didn't just grab the lead, they held the lead. And they maintained it, and they constantly kept their foot on the gas. I mean, I know Toronto kind of capitalized with that power play late, made it a 1-goal game. Fraser Minton, you dog, what a beautiful shot. But you got a lot of different contributors in this game. It's not just a one-line show. You had everybody contributing for the Boston Bruins in this game, and it was great. Morgan Geekie responds early. Victor Arvidsson capitalized off a great turnover, by the way. Stupid if you're the Maple Leafs. Michael Eyssimont scores on the power play. Never thought I'd say that in a sentence. David Pastrňák scores goal number 399, so he's one away from 400. And Fraser Minton gets the goal. And you kind of just love to see this type of effort. I thought Jeremy Swayman was really good. Jeremy Swayman, he's starting to get kind of back in terms of his overall play. I thought he was doing a fantastic job in terms of stopping the puck. His goal saved above expected took a little bit of a dive, especially after the Ottawa game where they lost 7-2. Really kind of took him out of things, but he's rebounded really, really well. Jeremy Swayman is 14th in goal saved above expected right now at 4.8, so you do love to see it. Crazy, his save percentage is still below 900, which is kind of wild, but you do love to see the goal saved above expected. Means he's stopping quality chances that teams are getting on them. But overall, the Bruins are streaking, and the Bruins are playing a really good brand of hockey. I think they look a lot more comfortable. I think that's not something that should go away. I think there's a lot to really take out of this Bruins win streak. And I want to say the first thing I want to discuss is the second line of the Bruins. Now, injuries. Let's get to the injuries real quick. Elias Lindholm's out week to week. Losing him is rough because losing him honestly makes things pretty challenging because you just lost your top line center, right? You lost your top line center. No one ever wants to lose their top line center. It's just never ideal. But when you look at what the Bruins been able to do just from a top line standpoint is you're enjoying that Marek Kuznetsov has stepped in and has stepped in quite comfortably. The Bruins are – I love what he brings to the table. I think Marek Kuznetsov plays with great speed. He plays with great pace. He can handle his own in the faceoff dot. I think when you look at him, it's like, is this guy profiled as a number one center? No, not really. But something that really needs to be noted, and this was talked about in the Short Shift Discord, the Devils traded Pavel Zacha for Eric Haula. Now, at the time, that made sense for both sides, right? Pavel Zacha fell out of order. I think Pavel Zacha maybe wasn't really a fit in New Jersey. They have Hughes and Heischier. Like, what are they going to pay Pavel Zacha premium to be the 3C? At the time, that was before the cap was rising, right? Doesn't make a lot of sense. Doesn't make sense really at all. But the Devils acquire Eric Haula. They get their cheaper, serviceable 3C. And the Bruins go ahead and get Pavel Zacha. He slid in great. Okay, my point now is the Bruins get Marek Kuznetsov, a guy that they got for Justin Brazeau. Okay, two things they have in common. They were better than what the Bruins actually had to part with to land them. And two, they played under the same head coach, John Hines. Hines definitely misused Kuznetsov. I mean, Kuznetsov is a very reliable player, plays with good speed. He can create good offense. Pavel Zacha was the same way. Was he misused in New Jersey? Maybe to a degree. But Pavel Zacha's really developed into a really nice player. Marek Kuznetsov can do the very same under this Bruins staff. I think that's worth noting. But you look here at the screen. I'm going to pull up the Bruins lines. And here's the Pastrňák, geeky Kuznetsov line where they have 2.4 expected goals for 1.7 expected goals against. That's pretty good. That's good margins. 58.5 the expected goals percentage. Like, you do like to see that. Like, that means they are generating good offense. They are doing really good things. And then you look as a line, they've outscored opponents 3-2. So I mean, that's not bad. You're getting really good impacts from that line. And I think that's important. I think that's really key for the Bruins because you lose Elias Lindholm. Granted, most of his production has come with the man advantage and on the power play, which that's fine. Me personally, I don't like that. That's just me personally. Like, I'm not a fan of that. I think you want to have at least some kind of equal man, I'm really trying to figure this out. But anyways, I really think you want some kind of equal production, like, across the board. Like, you want to see a little bit more 5-on-5 impact. Now, I think he has done a tremendous job of impacting the game per se because I think overall he's done a really nice job. I think he's done good with his faceoffs. I think he's at least been able to deliver, and he looks more energized and he looks more in tune, and he's just doing all the right things. Like, I think Elias Lindholm's doing all the right things. But you want to see a little bit more. And I think Kuznetsov, he's held his own. He really has. I think, is it a permanent solution? Probably not. But at the very least, he's done a good job. And that's what matters most, is he's done a good job. Now, what I want to talk about over the course of this win streak is the Bruins' second line, right? The Bruins' second line of Pavel Zacha, Victor Arvidsson, and Casey Middlestat has been really, really good. So Casey Middlestat, for the Bruins, he got sad after that Colorado game, right? He was the one that got benched. He's the one that's been held accountable, and I think that is very important to talk about. Marco Sturm has done a fantastic job of holding guys accountable, not being afraid to sit guys, not being afraid to, it doesn't matter if you're a veteran, doesn't matter if you're a rookie, doesn't matter your status as a team. If you're not playing well and you're not doing the right things and you're not executing your assignments as a player on the system that is being ran, he will sit you. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Accountability is great. Don't think the Bruins quite had that with, definitely not with Montgomery. I mean, good God, Patrice Bergeron was running the show. But it's to the point where you're getting these guys to sit and they respond. And Casey Middlestat responded after that Colorado game, which was abysmal. His line did absolutely nothing. He has been fantastic. He's had 7 points in his last 9 games, which is huge. And this all comes after he moved to the winger position. So he was playing center, and he moved to the wing, and Zach has slid back to center, and that has worked out phenomenally. I think Zach has been good in the face-off dot. I think he's been good in his 200-foot game. He looks more responsible. And things I've noticed, too, is Zach has a nose for the net. That Islanders game, he has a nose for the net. Every time on the power play, he was going hard to the front of the net, and I thought that was really telling. He just looks more energized. He looks more focused. I just love what he's been able to do. There's times where I've seen Zach go to the front of the net, but now it just seems like he's more pressing to go there. And it's really fun to watch. And I kind of want to get to – I'm going to get to the quotes in a second, but I do want to pick up the Arvidsson stuff really quick because he's been really good as well. And it's kind of – because everyone talks about this line being the trade bait line, as in all these guys are going to move. But this is a guy who's done nothing but score goals. He's got 3 points so far this month. And just overall, he's on a pretty solid point streak. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 points in his last 10 games. And he's got quite a bit of goals. He's got a lot of goals coming. So it's really, really nice to see overall. But I think when you look at the quotes, that's what's telling to me. And I like what Stern was saying about the second line and primarily Zacha, because this doesn't go without Pavel Zacha. I think Pavel Zacha, he's kind of the line driver, which is something we haven't really been able to say. I don't know how much Zacha was really a line driver when playing with Pastrňák. I think he was more of the passenger, in my opinion. But now he's kind of a line driver, and it's really, really nice. It's really comforting. And he was just saying, I always think the centerman is always the motor and always the brain on any line. I think he took that since he's been back on center, and he took the line to another level, and he really has. This line has been sensational. This is a line that is controlling the expected goal share at a 59% rate, which I think is really telling. They're controlling the play at 53%, Corsi 4. I think that stuff is really, really important when people want to break it down to the nitty-gritty like that. Because your on-ice impacts are everything, and the line is also producing. So this is a team where we thought maybe that this is a one-line show. And really, that's not the case. This is a team that legitimately has more than one line, and I didn't think that we'd be able to say that. And a lot of people want to look. I saw Maple Leafs fans saying, "Oh, how are the Leafs going to lose to this Bruins team?" Well, it's yeah, on paper, the Bruins are not supposed to be better than the Maple Leafs, but when you play like it, and credit to the Bruins because the Maple Leafs look horrible. They don't look good at all. The Maple Leafs, I don't think. I think the Maple Leafs have their own issues personally. I think they're missing Mitch Marner. I think that's something that's pretty evident. I think Mitch Marner is definitely missed on that team. They're heavier, so it's a very Berube style type of team, which don't know if that bodes well for that roster, but it is what it is. But the Bruins have depth and impactful depth, and Fraser Min has become a gem to watch as well, really blossoming as that third line center. Shout out to Andrew, kind of saying that he's pretty much like our new Charlie Coyle. And if that's what he ends up being, like a reliable third line center that has like second line center, ceiling, I will happily take that. And it always makes me wonder, like, what the Bruins are going to be like in a couple of years. Like, what does the center position look like, right? So you have Pavel Zacha. Do they extend him? I don't know. I think he's a very valuable piece to a team that's going to contend. If the Bruins do plan on contending, I think that's important. But like, does Elias Lindholm slot down to the 3C, Mitten a 2C? Like, where does James Higgins fit in? Is he the 1C? Like, there's so many moving parts here. Like, even if Higgins moves to the wing, I mean, that creates a lot of dynamic too. Like, you have Higgins on the wing, Zach at center. That's beautiful. Mitten. There's so many options and combinations, and obviously that's way down the road. But I thought Mitten had a really, really, really nice game overall. But the last news I want to get to, Mason Lohrei. This is a guy who sat for 5 games. I didn't quite understand this one personally. I didn't get it. I didn't like it. I can understand, what he's doing with the accountability part, right? Like, you want Mason Lohrei to sit and learn, okay? You want Mason Lohrei to sit. You want Mason Lohrei to learn. You want him to figure out what he's doing and shouldn't be doing. And that's fine, but not for 5 games. I don't think that's how it should be. It's very evident that the Lohrei-McAvoy pairing doesn't work, right? 5.6 expected goals for to 8 against. That's bad. Not to mention the goal differential is even worse, 7-10. Like, not good. Okay? So you've seen when he gets taken, like, they put him on the third pair, he played great. They put him back to the top pair. It didn't go well. Just stop doing that. Don't do that no more. It doesn't work. And I understand trying to make it work. Like, you signed him to the bridge deal. You want to push him and develop him. You want to see him succeed alongside Charlie McAvoy. Sturm has also alluded that they try to do the same thing, right? Like, McAvoy wants to go. And that also means that Lohrei wants to go. Why? Because Lohrei is very gifted offensively. He excels with the puck on his stick. He excels when the puck is in possession of him. He can push the play forward. He's a quarterback specialist on a power play. He's very offensively gifted. He's a black hole defensively. Put him with somebody that can be defensively minded and just let him play his game. That's the best way to allow him to have success. Like, I don't think he's meant to be a top pair defenseman. I just don't. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Just find a spot to put him in to have success. The Zadorov-McAvoy pairing works, right? 54% expected goals percentage. That's great. 3.4 to 2.9 in terms of expected goal differential. They're outscoring opponents 4-2 on the ice. Like, 1.72 expected goals against per 60 minutes. I will take that. I will take that all day. That is the lowest of any Bruins pairing. That is at least spent 50 minutes together. So the sample size is large enough, right? Like, it is. But not having Lohrei with McAvoy, like, you just can't do that no more. Like, just don't do that. It just doesn't work, and it's okay to admit that. So he has to play against the Maple Leafs, right? Like, he has to play against Toronto because Charlie McAvoy's unavailable. Had Charlie McAvoy been in the lineup, I don't think we see Mason Lohrei at all. So what did he do? He had the best game of the year for himself. I honestly think this is the best game of the year. He was, let me get this up for you guys. If you're on audio, I'm sorry. This is for video, is what it is. But I'm showing the chart. So Mason Lohrei, I'm going to maximize this for you. Mason Lohrei is 4th. So he had the 4th best Corsi for percentage. Shot attempt differential was 14-9. Great. When he was on the ice, the Bruins are out shooting the opposition 8-2. Great. 2-0 goal differential. Great. What do? Expected goals for share 72.17%. That's bananas. And this is also let me see if I can Scoring chances were 10-3 when he was on the ice. High danger chances 3-1. Dominant showing by Mason Lohrei. Absolutely love that from him. And you know what? Even Jonathan Aspero, right? Like, that's a guy, too, that a lot of podcasts are saying he's been playing really good. And I think he's, you know what? It's serviceable for what his role is, right? This was his best game as a Bruin. Easily. 54.17 Corsi for percentage, out shooting opponents 9-3. So that pair absolutely cooked. I mean, you're combining them. The Bruins were out shooting the Maple Leafs 17-5 when they were on the ice. Goal differential 4-0. His expected goal share 54.56%. That's huge for a guy like Aspero, who I think a lot of us have been dragging through the mud. At least I know I have. I don't think he's been good enough for Lohrei to continue sitting. But do you sit Yoki Haru, right? Like, what do you do this upcoming game against Maple Leafs? Like, do you sit Yoki Haru? Do you sit Pete? Like, what do you do? Like, who do you sit? What works, right? Like, who's gonna sit? Because I don't think you can sit or should sit. I don't think you should sit. I don't think you should sit Mason Lohrei. I think he responded. He did a good job. I thought that toe drag move he put on the Leafs defender and almost scored. Granted, he shot it right into the goalie, but I think that would have been really cool if he did score that goal. Jeremy Swayman, I thought, did phenomenal. Granted, the 2 goals did come from the high danger areas of the ice. But I thought he did a really good job overall. 1.17 goals saved above expected. He is playing phenomenal hockey. I love Jeremy Swayman. So happy for him. Morgan Geekie, he's been phenomenal. It's really crazy when you really break down, like, when you really break down him as a whole. And just his contract, right? The contract he signed and the goals he's scoring and where he sits in the league. And this is where I'm going to end it. Morgan Geekie is elite, right? Nathan MacKinnon leads the league in goals right now at 14. That's insane. 10.4 expected goals in all situations for Nathan MacKinnon, and he's scored 14. That's nuts. God, he's so good. He is so good. Anyways, but Morgan Geekie is in pretty, like, solid company, I feel like, right? Like, if you told me when we signed Geekie that he would be top the league in scoring, the first month of the year, I'd say you're nuts. Cole Caulfield, second in goals, and then you have a 4-way tie for third. You got Bo Horvat, Morgan Geekie, Cutter Gauthier, who looks disgustingly good with the Anaheim Ducks, and then Sidney Crosby. That's your 4-way tie. To be in that company for him, and then you break down the points. It's not even just the goals, it's the points, right? You look at the points, and honestly, it's even better for Geekie. Obviously, he's not in the top 5, but Morgan Geekie is right outside the top 20. He is where? That doesn't make sense. Interesting. Geekie has 15 points. He is 45th. I thought he had 18 for some reason. I must have misread that. But anyways, but still, to be in that kind of company, pretty remarkable if you're the Bruins. And that contract is a steal, by the way. Like, I don't think anybody thought that he would sign that deal and literally do what he's doing. I mean, he's on pace to shatter his previous career high that he just set last year, which is nuts to me. But it's just a testament to just how good he is and how reliable he's been. And yeah, job well done by Don Sweeney, right? To getting that contract signed and keeping him part of the fold and doing all the things that are necessary to being a good team. But we're streaking. We have Toronto Maple Leafs tomorrow night, Tuesday, which is probably when you'll be listening to this. But yeah, it's been fun. This is fun, and this is just going to be the mantra of the season. This team is going to have highs. This team's going to have lows. The East is still really wide open. Look, the Bruins. I'm not sitting here expecting that they'll be a cup favorite or a playoff team, but at the very least, they're competing, and that's all you can ask for. And that's all that I will genuinely cheer about is the fact that the Boston Bruins are competing and playing hockey that is fun to watch and is competitive. And that's all you can ask for. So without further ado,